All right, ladies and gentlemen. No, we're getting reports Mother Green, the butt kicking machine, has moved into Chicago. I suggest you don't listen to people and take to the streets. I would stay out of the streets. Uh, if I was if I was still living in Chicago, I probably would stay. I'd let them do their jobs. Don't get in their way. Don't point any weapons at them. These are real military guys. Um, yeah, don't mess with our military folks. You will have a big troubles. So we're getting reports that everyone's, concerned about it. I'm not. Watch the bad guy run. And folks, and we want to alert the states that are around Chicago. These bad guys are going to be running from Chicago. They're going to need a new state to go to. So if they come to your state, open fire. You know, everyone's all upset and everything. Like, this is great. This is some great stuff. Paybacks, right? People been abused for so long, been stolen from. This is all payback. So be safe. I know. JLR is talking about it right now and saying, uh, these people are lying. They are lying. They're not taking old ladies away and everything. People are over there at JLRs. They're locking old lady. Well, is she illegal? Because we're finding out that even Donald Trump's father was illegal, who came here, or his grandfather or whatever, and broke the laws or whatever. Yeah, it's all coming out now, folks. Pretty crazy if you ask me, but do I believe it? Oh yeah, sure do. There was only so many of us that were actually real Americans here before America was discovered. Before the English or whatever, the people from England came over or whatever. Uh, yeah, yeah, it's pretty crazy. I agree. What a beautiful day, though. I know that a lot of people are like, that cloud is not moving. Why? Well, because this is something we're working on, folks. No, it's just a cloud. Yeah, I agree. I agree with JLR there. JLR, crime pays now. Right? Corruption pays, crime pays, murder pays. Big money. So, uh, big business, they don't get away with that in Chicago. The people steal from the big businesses and everything because big business screwed them. Big business screwed them. So the citizens make sure every year something happens and they raid all the stores and riot, take what they can get. Right? That happens. I just stand back and let it happen. But yeah, I agree with you. It's just crazy, and I would stay off the streets, folks, and don't point any weapons at our military guys on the street. They're there to do a job. That's it. And they'll be gone, right? But they're throwing such a stink about it. Well, it makes sense because they're probably involved in it. They know if the government comes to town, the military, that there's a good chance that these politicians will be locked up. Maybe. I know they're scared, but this is the best thing that ever happened to Chicago and the streets of Chicago and Illinois. I lived in a little town, maybe, I don't know, 30, 40 miles away from Chicago. And it was nothing but cornfield around Chicago. And now it's like Chicago. My old buddies and everything. It's like if you drove into Chicago. Shootings, guns everywhere, all kinds of crazy shit going on. Thank God we got out of there in the 90s. It was just a zoo. And it's like that everywhere. It's even up here in this little town. It's everywhere now. Just madness. Well, I think it's the great thing that happened to Chicago. Maybe they'll lower the price of living there. Everyone's, I've always heard it. People have been complaining for a long time. Property tax are just unbelievable. Even the prices of houses are just unbelievable. And we're going to crash it all. We're getting ready to crash it. And Trump and everybody's all flipping out. What do you mean? We're crashing it. I'm sorry, dude. You know, we got to make our money. We got to get our money from you. So crashing the real estate, right? It's just too expensive right now. It's outrageous the prices they want for homes and everything, and the construction companies are pretty much saying from now on there's no money in building small homes. All the money is in these big giant homes. So they're saying most of these guys in that area are saying they're not going to be building homes unless it's over $500,000. Then they'll think about building the homes, but they're not building these little tiny homes no more. Boy, they really your government, the United States government, uh, really screwed up. Uh, they should have never let big business take over. And that's what it is. Business is choking you out. These people are poisoning you literally with food. And you can't even do anything. You can't even sue them anymore. Why? Well, they put all that stuff in Congress and Senate while you guys were bickering about all this crap. They passed the laws underneath your nose. You can't sue them even if they kill your whole family, which they did. They killed them all. You can't do nothing about it, folks. That's business laws now, right? They that's why they wanted him in there so bad, because they knew. Banks too. Uh, yeah, it's pretty sad, but don't worry. Don't worry. It's all going to change here soon. Let's enjoy our coffee and our peace because these people ain't going to have no peace here pretty soon. Let's see what JLR's doing real quick. Let's just check it out. No, JLR's on it. He's anybody. Yeah, don't stop the
Taxpayer money is
ad.
given to illegal and corrupt politicians as our cities and some whole states go totally under.
Put that in.
Third world in America should never be tolerated, no matter political party. I'd like to see all of them come together, work together as a solution. We kind of seen that with Mayor Bowser. She's a Democrat in the Trump administration, Washington, D.C., though she had no choice. But she conceded at this point, is acknowledging that crime has gone down since the National Guard has been in D.C. So if it's working in D.C., why couldn't it work in Chicago? Why can't they just Chicago politicians?
Exactly, JLR. And it will work. And don't let these people, I don't want to tell you folks what happened to me when I was younger uh, with a police officer. You probably would be sick and vomit. Right? They still owe me money for that out in Chicago. But Chicago's always been that way, right? They've always been that way. I really don't know what to say. I really don't. I don't know. I don't really care. But this will work, and it will work in every single state. And that's why these people are crying and whining about it, because they know when we come in, we're coming to take. We ain't laying down. And they're worried about it because they'll lose their power. They'll lose all the money they've been stealing, their laws, and all the gang bangs going on around there, and all the rapes and pillaging and everything that's going on there ends. It ends. And that's what they're worried about. You will not survive in Chicago unless you're selling cocaine, and very good cocaine in Chicago. You're not going to survive. You can have 3 jobs and you're not going to survive in Chicago. The property tax is way too high. The homes are way too high. Everything is way too high. Now, if you got 100% pure coca, and you're cooking it up and selling it 100% pure, then you're going to make some money. But that's nobody's fault but the government's fault for letting this get out of hand. And you ain't going to make no money in Chicago unless you're a crack dealer or a cocaine dealer. Okay? I'm going to lie to these people, right? You got heroin or whatever, you'll make tons of money. You ain't going to make no money working one job. The only people that are surviving in Chicago are people that bought homes, paid for them, and they don't have a mortgage anymore. It's like one of my buddy bought a condo back, you know, way back, way back. He lives there today. It's paid off, and that's the only reason he's surviving there. It's because he don't have a mortgage anymore. You can't survive in Chicago. You can if you're a corrupt gangster, a killer. Yeah, you'll make money. Other than that, you ain't gonna make no money in Chicago. Costs too much. It's way too corrupt. It's a war zone. And like I said, if you're a cocaine dealer, you'll probably make tons of money. If you're a gangbanger, you'll probably make tons of money, right? If you belong to one of these biker MC clubs in Chicago, you're probably gonna make a lot of money. But you ain't gonna make no money having one job. Just ain't gonna happen. You ain't gonna survive. That's why massive amounts of people are dumping Chicago and getting out of it. And it sucks. I love Chicago. I was born and raised there. Some of the greatest times of my life, some of the greatest food ever. But when people go completely crazy, well, that's their fault. Bring in the military, and it will work. And like I was telling Congress and Senate, these people want to open fire. Let them. We'll give them a war on the streets. We will give them a war. But everybody's all a bunch of pansies.
Just give it a chance. Couple weeks. What do you got to lose? See what happens. They don't want that. I don't like to see people openly defying, I like to see partnerships in these agencies. I like to see people working together. It's the only way you're going to get something.
Well, yeah, that's what they all should have done. I agree, JLR. They all should have came and worked together, but they don't. It's a power thing. It is a power struggle. State against federal. Don't get in the middle of it. They're all corrupt. You ain't never gonna make it in Chicago anymore. I'm telling you, folks. America is over. They just cannot get it through their heads. Certain politicians can. They know what's coming. It's over. America is not a powerhouse anymore. We're trying to tell you folks what's to come. They sold you out. They sold us all out. They sold the whole country, the whole shit and shaboodle. And what is it? They're hoping we don't get rid of them all. It's probably why they're bringing in the military, But just keep doing what you're doing. Bring in the military. Let them do their jobs. This is very suspicious to people, right? The government's saying we're bringing in the military. It's crazy there. You got crack, you got drugs, you got people dying in the street. And these people are saying, oh, no, 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 we don't need you. We don't need. Well, it's obvious. They just made themselves guilty, folks. They just made themselves guilty. I wouldn't doubt if these people put a hit out from the streets and all the gangs on us. It's just crazy. I'm not getting involved in it.
I'm done. If you don't work together, this is what you're going to have, a complete mess. Ultimately, I think Chicago city officials and the governor's on the losing end here. Considering this is what many people around the country, now I don't know who you voted for, but many people around the country voted for Trump because of law and order in the border, to restore law and order in the city and the border, and in other things too. But the consensus is around this country is people are tired of crime. They just want safety. They just want their children to go out at a park with their families and be able to enjoy themselves and walk the streets without gunshots, mugged, harassed. Now, different people voted for people. We got people all.
Yeah, I agree. Excuse me. I agree. That's what we always wanted in Chicago. I'm sorry, folks. I can't. I'm done. I'm not supporting nothing anymore. Like I said, we are not laying down. We're taking this time. Because we know what's coming to America. It is over. It's not a superpower anymore. They raped and pillaged so much and stole that they got nothing. Even their own military wants to kill these politicians. It's over with. The longer these people refuse to understand what's coming, the worse it's going to get. It's just too far gone. It's not a powerhouse. Everyone's backing out. G7, G6, they're all backing out. They don't want nothing to do with it. Trump wants out of it. That was the most stupidest thing. They were probably one of the most best things that could have happened. It was a united thing. And Trump backed out of that. And here's to come to find out they're doing all the numbers. And you're going to have to play ball with China because China is over 35, 30, 40% of the thing. These dudes are idiots. What they are thieves. Human trafficker, pedo sickos. They wouldn't know numbers if we shoved a whole bunch of them up their asses. They're very dumb. It's over with. Do I agree? Some of the professionals saying America, it's just over with. They refuse to come to terms that it's over with. Other countries have moved on. That's why they're laughing at America. is because they know, they're like, don't even pay any attention to that idiot. It's over with. The only thing you got left is what you're trying to do now. And that's the only thing they got left. It's over with. The 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 ratio, the debt ratio, it's over with. It's over with. They want too much for the housings. They want they just want too much for everything. And we got a mass migrant. They're not telling people. A lot of people are moving to Norway and out of the country, but they're not reporting that. Why? Well, because if everybody got word that America is screwed, literally, you are slaves to another country, and they don't want that to get out. Simple as that. They own over 45 to 50% of the major stuff. You know, they're more wealthy than us. They have more money than America. And people don't want to listen. They don't want to listen. There is no justice in America. It is your rich people that have been raping and pillaging your children, stealing and doing all kinds of stuff. They're murderers. The evidence is coming out. Whoever gets in their way, they end up killing. They're so far behind, they got America's citizens so deep in debt. And I'm like, that ain't the American people's debt. That's the government's, not the American citizens. Well, and that's when they turn and use the old sleight of hand, the old Jedi trick. Well, we worked for the citizens. Yeah, but see, you raped and pillaged us. Once we put you in there, you didn't do what we told you to do. You thought we were peasants after we got you in there, didn't you? That's what they thought. And they refused to listen. Trump's dying. They got him. Right? They got his ass poisoned. Gone. He's going to die. That's what they're saying. That's why he stinks so bad, as he's swollen up and everything. Not unless they come up with some cure real quick. But that's what it is. It ain't no heart failure or anything. They got him. Chemically. You folks don't want to listen to it. That's your fault. That's your problem. Okay? We know for a fact. All right? He monkeyed with the wrong people. A lot of you folks did. Nobody cares. Nobody has authority. Yeah, they're killing bosses of all the bosses. They're killing all the gang members, everything, leaders, everything. It's over with. Who's going to be the big dog next? I don't know. Maybe Persia's taking back over again. I know. Well, I know Putin's a main player in this. Why? Well, because he holds nuclear weapons, and that's the only reason. He's got more weapons than China, nuclear. He's got more nuclear weapons than anybody. That's why he is a player in the game. You understand? I don't think these people do. Well, whatever you do, stay off the streets in Chicago. Let our military do their job in the streets of Chicago. If they take over the whole city, then take over the whole city. If the government takes over the whole city, then do it. Get our money back. I think it's crazy too, but it's the truth. I don't know what these folks want to hear. It's going to be a long, long, long time before America is, and we're not buying his propaganda bull crap anymore. America's the greatest country, the most powerful. No, it ain't. You're lying to yourselves. You'd be best off doing what these other countries did when they lost it and their power was gone. like England and London, they're just as bad as us. They're in better shape than us. But what are they doing? Well, they realize it, that they are nothing. And they're spending money on their own country, building their people healthier and stuff like that. It's not happening here in America. It's just when everybody's got their hand in them, it's just corrupt, evil. You know, people been used. The movie business, the music business, for many many years, millions, billions, quadrillions, even inventions and everything, and they were still. There is no justice unless you get justice yourself, and that's what we're doing. Right there, we're getting justice. That's what we're doing. I know these idiots keep saying we're gonna pay them. Yeah, I've heard that before. I've heard that before. So what can we do? Well, you got to start worrying about America now. America has become 1952 Germany. Well, are we worried about Germany? No, 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 not at all worried about Germany. Germany is going to survive longer than us because uh, America's just. I'm so, I agree with some people. I am furious that this happened, but this was because these idiots that had millions and billions of dollars thought they knew what they were doing. They killed most of your people with chemicals, and they'll continue to do it. And they made bad calls, and they sacrificed America. Now, all these politicians got tons of money, and they're saying, oh, well, America's over with. Right? We're going to tell you right now, we sold it. And yeah, that's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to do. They're doing things and they haven't even fixed the slavery bill. Right? They haven't even done. They never finish or do anything that they say they're going to do. They don't ever finish anything. We got the African Americans so pissed because they were supposed to get paid or whatever, and they were supposed to be given land where they can start their own nation. This is because America, government, politicians never finish nothing. Why all the death and murder in the streets? Because you didn't give them their land to start their nation. That was in the slave treaty bill. Yeah, they never finish anything in America, but we're going to. Amen and all glory to God. Now the United States government selling our military bases, which are not theirs. They're the American people military bases, and they're selling the bases, the American bases that they're not using to other countries and stuff. What should they do? They should have got rid of all these people, literally. Uh, Found treason and shot. And that's what we're doing. I declare they committed treason and war and crimes against humanity in America. That's what I say.
People in
I'm
the
just
chat,
an
look,
idiot.
there's a lot of people. Democrat, Republican, Independent, all are welcome here. We're just sharing what's going on. I have my opinion. You might not agree with it, but we're just sharing what's going on and seeing and hearing from all sides here. Chicago's a mess. Let's be real, folks. Would you feel safe walking around Chicago at night? Would you like to walk around Chicago at night? Chicago's beautiful. Downtown is beautiful, but a Riverwalk. There was a murder on the Riverwalk the other day, and a body was found thrown in the water.
Yeah, but they got everything under control. See, it's always been like that in Chicago. Depending on what neighborhood you went to in Chicago, a white man could go if you knew a black man. Like Harvey, Capri Green, Harlem, all them places that were pretty much all uh, African American controlled. They really were. If you knew somebody in there, you would be able to go in there and be safe. Sometimes even the people that lived in there, the black families, didn't have enough pull to keep you safe, and they tell you, don't come into the neighborhood. Right? Don't come into the neighborhood. Wait, and that's always been like that. It has been overtaken. It's been overtaken a long time ago. This is shit they should have done 20, 30 years ago. That's how long it's been since we lost this country. They just haven't told us. They don't want mass chaos and all that, but they should have paid the money. They should have paid the money. The most stupidest thing they didn't do was pay the money. And boy, are they kicking themselves in the butt. They thought that it was going to last forever. They thought they were the biggest, baddest thing. And pretty much the only thing they got is equipment, which we're cutting off that. And that's it. And he's trying to sell all of our equipment to other countries, our planes and everything. And I went ahead and gave the okay, don't create nothing, anything more. They're just going to sell it to these other countries and end up killing our own people with it. They're treasonous. You understand that, folks? Tyrant, treason, numerous things. Not alone. They, they, they took millions of children and used them for sex and slavery and all kinds of stuff. Right? And it's still happening. Everyone thinks Epstein's gone. The island shut down. No, it ain't. His family's here. His brothers are here. And the island goes on. It's just a different person in his family's taking over. Your children are still being kidnapped and sent to the islands or whatever. Nothing has changed. Bring in the military. Is there anything left that's true to God and the American citizens? Probably not. Probably not.
We were there. We did a whole serial killer segment. We think there's serial killers there.
Oh yeah, there's serial killers in this complex. Right? They're everywhere. Even here in this apartment complex.
Why not try something different? Break the status quo.
Exactly.
For results.
Exactly. Try something different.
Tonight will be interesting. It will be.
Well, I agree with them. They're afraid of change. They're afraid of change. Right? And here's the thing. The criminals, the gangsters, the coke dealers, and everybody are comfortable where they're at. They're making millions. Right? They don't want to jeopardize that. So no, they don't want the government to come in and restore order and start taking these guys out. They don't want that. Like I said, you ain't going to make it in Chicago with one job. Never. The only way you're going to make it in Chicago is if you start bringing in 100% pure, 100% cocaine and selling it on the streets. We're not stupid. You're not going to make it in Chicago unless you're a thief, a robber, a gangbanger, drug dealer, whatever, raping and pillaging and stealing. And honest living you're not going to make it in Chicago. You ain't gonna make it. And I don't even know if the cocaine can pull them out of it, because the cocaine that they're producing today is not Pablo Escobar cocaine. It is not Pablo Escobar cocaine. It is not that pure, and it is not that good, and it's being processed wrong, and they're using all kinds of crap in it. Now, 100% Pablo Escobar cocaine, yes, it might pull that city out of debt. Uh, but that was only because it was an ether based cooked cocaine. This shit these people are making out there in Chicago, I don't know what it is. Who knows? I've seen these idiots put all kinds of shit in it. And it's crack. It's 100% pure. It ain't. But they got rid of Pablo, and they got rid of most of his chemists and cooks, and only so many of them have the real ingredients of making real cocaine. And that's the only thing that might save Chicago is if you ain't gonna, like I said, if you're going to Chicago and you think you're gonna get a job and you're gonna buy a house and you're gonna live in it, you're dreaming. You wouldn't be able to afford the property tax. Now, if you're going to Chicago and you're going to get a job, but on the side you're going to be killing, raping, and pillaging, and then you might survive. Or you're going to be selling 100% pure cocaine, then maybe. But it's over with, folks. I don't know how many times people got to tell these people. That's why these people are, that's why we're sitting back going, my God, they just don't get it. They're going to end up killing themselves. And they are. It's just too far gone. They owe too much money, and the bill collectors have come, and they want their money, and they want their city. They want their city. They want their money, and they want their city. It's no longer the Chicago people city. It's no longer Chicago. They just don't want to admit it. It's just crazy. I'd let the military do their jobs. If you're a law-abiding citizen, you got nothing to worry about. If you're here legally, if you're here legally, you got nothing to worry about. You got nothing to worry about. That's why this Chicago, the Chicago that I once grew up in, was born and raised, is not the Chicago of today. And these people are making it obvious that Chicago is corrupt and evil because they're trying to get the military to leave there and all this stuff. It is 100% obvious to me that they don't want to fix the problem. They want the madness, the gun shooting. They want the gangs and everything else to continue the way it is. They're making money, and you're not. And that's the way they love it. That's the way they like it. They want some more of it. Oh, good morning, Miss W. Fox. Oh, you were born and raised on the south side. Cool. Let me see. They still calling fire in Chicago. Just let the ICE agents do their jobs. Yeah. That's as simple as it is. If you are a law-abiding citizen and you're a godly person and you're not out raping and pillaging and selling crack and heroin and all that, why do you care if the military comes in? I would be applauding it. I don't know what else to say. Only a terrorist and a tyrant and evil and the devil don't want the military boots on the ground in any state in America. Ain't that something? That's why we have to sub it out to another country and have their military come in to patrol our streets. Why? Well, because it's in the Constitution. They can't. But what we can do is bring another country in to patrol America. You're not going to win the war against God. That was the most stupidest thing that they ever could have said, was they had enough weaponry to take on God now. That pissed God off. And I think we haven't seen the fury of God yet. My father was a Chicago cop for 425 years, or 425 years. Well, we all seen that movie with Sean, what was his name? Sean, great actor or whatever. I don't know, when we were going up against Capone, he was in that movie. They take one of ours, we take 50 of theirs. And that's what they did. And they killed 50 other bad guys. They didn't monkey around back then. They didn't play games. And then you had Capone that got pissed because that's what they did. They took 50 of his guys, so Capone set it up and they all and sent a whole bunch of people that were dressed as cops, and they took what was it, 50 something dudes. All the police drove away, and everyone's like, we don't know what happened. It was a bunch of police officers. They just wasn't cops at all. It was just Capone and doing what he did best. And that was why they called Chicago and Al Capone, Uncle Al, Murder Incorporated, because Al came up with all kinds of ideas where the people were saying, the police did it. Cops killed 50 dudes and got in their cars and walked away. Uncle Al, what a character. But that's why they called him Murder Incorporated and Murder Inc., the typewriter crew. Right? That's how they got their job done, was they opened fire with the Tommy guns. But it's so far gone, nobody cares. Them are the old days. If these people are perfectly sane people and perfectly law-abiding citizens, why the heck are you worried about the military coming in to clean the streets up and get illegals out of there and all that? But that's just the thing. We know America's a bunch of pansies. Why? Because the military won't even come in and do their jobs. And then we got to listen to them cry about it because my family was killed. Well, you're in the military. Why didn't they send the military in to clean all this mess up? Right? Well, there's laws that tie our hands. Exactly. There's laws in the Constitution that ties your hands of even your own military, protecting your own country. You have to go afar. You can't do it in your own country. And that's why all of us are pissed off now. Countries going down the tubes, rape, pillage, drugs, everything. And our military standards, nothing we could do, Johnny. That's why you have plan B and backup. And the military knows I'm a military raised family. We got 50, 60 plans and backups. Now, if our own military can't do it, we'll cut some deals with other countries. They'll come in and they'll patrol it. There you go. We solved that problem. Matter of fact, they owe us money. We'll cut a deal with them. Tell them you bring their military in and patrol these areas in America, and we might work something out where you don't owe us that money no more. Or it'll be pennies on the dollar. How's that? One way or another, we're going to get our justice and our money out of this madness, out of all this tyrant bull crap, and only the rich survive. Not no more, boys. We're hanging the rich and getting rid of them. I don't know if you noticed that or give a shit. Care, we're at our age and in our deathbeds. Give two craps if we take out 200 million. I blame the whites just as much as blacks. You can't trust anyone. Anyway, well, William, it's every race and creed. The devil does his work in everyone, just like the Lord does. And you're right. It was white, it was black, it was Hispanic. It's all of them. It's all of us. Until we wake up and realize that the only ones that are making money are politicians, corrupt police, corrupt government, and you ain't never gonna survive in America unless you have a crime family. If you belong to a crime family, you're gonna survive in Chicago. You belong to the mafia or whatever, you might survive, but that's only if you're higher up, right? You ain't surviving in nowhere in America with one job, a family, and mortgages and houses to pay for. You're not gonna do it. And when we went to Congress and Senate, this was my ancestors back in the day, right? This was back in the day, my ancestors going to the government going, it's gonna work, but this whole thing you created is only designed for you people. It's gonna work for so long. And if somebody with a brain comes along and money and figures out what's going on, it's not gonna work no more. You're going to overpopulate your country. You're going to enter disease, sickness, madness, craziness. It'll work for so long, but then it's going to turn on you. And that's what our documentation is showing of old Jebediah. Yes, that's what they told the government. It's going to work, but only for so long, and it's going to break down. And they told them that before they wrote the Constitution. That's what my uncles and old ancestors told the United States, the government. It's going to work, but it is going to fail because you're not going to be able to supply the people. You're not going to be able to do certain things, and eventually it will crumble, and the whole thing will go down the sink tube, right down the sink. And that's what's happening. We're at that point now where the justice system is broken. No way around it. The justice system works for the bad guy, not for us no more. And the job situation is gone. It's gone. There's jobs, but not in America. And now we have no money to rebuild America because these people got their hands in the money. These tariffs, they're bringing in billions of dollars. Exactly. And they're going into your pocket, not mine, not the American citizen's pocket. It's going into the people that you sold America to, right? It's going into their pocket. That's why all these countries are beautiful. Everyone, why is America not like that, Johnny? Well, because America never was America. It was what you were told and brainwashed to believe. It belonged to someone else. The best channel, second. Eat the rich. Well, they might be. We might be eating a lot of people. That's why they had us get rid of our barbecue grills out here. Because I went ahead and made a video saying if it goes bad, we're going to have to eat these birds and squirrels on my channel, right? And if that goes bad, then we might have to eat humans if there's no food. So I think within a couple days they made everyone get rid of their barbecue grills around here. And I told the management, I'm like, it was a movie, it was a joke. We're not, I'm not going to eat humans. But then I thought, you know what? If it does go bad, I'm going to eat all you people. And They're like, get rid of everyone has to get rid of their barbecue grills. Everyone's got to get rid of their barbecue grills. So now we cannot barbecue grill here on this government project apartment place. Not allowed to. I had to get rid of my barbecue grill and my fire pits. But I was trying to tell them if shit goes bad and they hit us with an EP and our electric goes out and everything, you got no way to cook. The only way we're going to be able to cook is on these barbecue grills. And they were like, we don't care. They're literally trying to kill people. And they literally are paying people. We caught a couple of the government paying a couple of these people that live here to kill people. They've been poisoning them. Right? Government's knee deep in shit. The church that's here, that that's how they've been getting their breaks. Right? Yeah, it's gone crazy. But little did they know, Superman came in and poisoned all these people, and it's their own fault. They didn't have cameras. They didn't have no security or cameras, so it's their own fault. They're all dying. They'll all be dead in about 5 years. Don't eat me. I'm poisonous. I imagine so. But, I'm explaining to people, your world's over with. We even got the professionals now coming to me going, he's effing right. How'd you know that? God. King of Kings. God. America's done. Over. They line their pockets so much, there ain't nothing there's nothing that's saving. There's nothing they could do. Gone. Like I said, you'll survive in America if you bring back that 100% pure cocaine, maybe. But I doubt it. Other than that, thank God I quit drugs back 30 some years ago. I don't need it. Of course, the government did come to me and they wanted me to sell crack and make drugs for them, but I was like, "What are you effing crazy? No, no, I'm not." They got pissed about that, but I ain't standing for it. Miss Debbie Fox says, "Was there really 56 shootings over the weekend?" Yeah, there was. Yes, there was. Let me fill you in on something. There was more than that. Do you think they're going to tell you exactly what's going on? How many died? Yeah, more than 56. I don't play the Powerball. I'm not in Chicago anymore. I moved out of there back in the 90s. I did the bootskin boogie. Uh, I still got family out there, but and they say it's just a zoo. It's a zoo. You can't drive nowhere. The traffic is unbelievable. It's like in the city, stop and go every second. Street lights and everything. It's just a zoo, complete zoo. Overpopulated, and it happens. I don't know. When Elon gets on there, like I said, I was listening to Rogan, and Joe come right out and told Elon, "I give it to me straight. I can handle it. Right? We're going to be fine. Right? Everything's good. Right? It's just all a bunch of crap." And Elon said, "I'm sorry, it's too late, Joe. It's over." Oh, Rogan was like, "What? It's over. It's too far gone. They would not listen, and we got stuff going on in our atmosphere and space, and it's over. Done." They waited too long. These people were gluttons and greedy bastards, and they caused your children's death and millions of people's death. That was Elon, and I applauded him for that. It is over. We can try and survive as long as we can, but we're going to have to get rid of these evil pricks because they're not in the business of this earth surviving for our grandkids and grandkids. They're not in the business of that, folks. We got to get rid of these aliens that came to America, and they're politicians, and they're higher ups, and they're police, and they're this and that, and they're choking out America. We can survive if we do that. If the military takes control and gets even rid of the politicians, we might be able to survive. Maybe for our next generation or our grandchildren to see. But the way we're going, no. The earth is in way too bad a shape. No one's listening. They're only worried about their money and power, and they don't give a shit if this whole country goes up. They have money and bunkers and all that where they all go, the rich people go. The rest of you, they don't care. Can America's citizens survive? Yeah, well, you're going to have to take out certain people. And I would support it. And JLR is right. I'm not going to lie. JLR is right. He's right. You don't do something now, the rest of the American citizens are going to say, get rid of them all. The old way. And that consists of a bunch of guys that we go radio silent and we just go crazy. We send them within the White House. We send them within Congress, Senate. We send them everywhere, and they just start taking people out. I like Bruce Willis with a sign on, I hate colored people. Well, I'm not racist. I'm not racist. I grew up in Chicago. I went to high school. There was black people, Hispanics, not many in our school, but there was. And it was a civilized school. It was a civilized school. We didn't have no shootings or anything like that in high school when I went to school. We were on the outskirts of Chicago in the suburb, cornfields all around. We didn't have no shootings, no stabbings, right? None of that crap. Not in our schools, outside of school. Well, yeah, but in school, no, never, never, not a zero. Victor J. Andrew High School was very good at that time when I went to school in the 80s out there. We didn't have that crap. We didn't even have it in our neighborhoods really until certain people moved in and brought the madness with them. Right? But other than that, it was very, very good, very clean school. Very clean and very safe when we went to school. In 1984, 5, 6, 83, 84, 85, and 86 is when I went to high school at Victor J. Andrew High School. And it was very safe. And we even had people that were disabled in our high school. It was very safe. And it was very fun to go to high school. We had all kinds of dances, all kinds of stuff. But wouldn't you know it, right after that is when all these big movies started popping. Yeah. Now some say, Johnny, we know that it was you and your buddies and everything from high school that all these big movies started popping and everything. And that's true. We did know how to dance pretty good. And we were pretty good at football. And we all were jokers, right? We come from Chicago, and some of the greatest jokesters ever, Belushi, Aykroyd, Chevy Chase. All these guys were Chicago guys all the time. I think I played basketball against Belushi one day, yeah, in my grammar school. I'm telling you, I think it was Belushi dressed up, acting like he was one of us. I'm not. I'm serious. Grissom J. Andrew High School, or no, Grissom Junior. Uh, Notice all these schools we went to in Illinois were all people that were military people or astronauts and stuff. But I'm telling you, I think I played one basketball game in Grissom Junior High where it was John Belushi. And he was laughing his butt off and he was kicking the crap out of all of us. He was a good basketball player too. He was just kicking the butt out of it. Well, of course we were kids, but young teenagers. But he was moving all over, hitting 3-pointers and everything. Blues Brothers still one of my favorite movies. Oh, Blues Brothers. I can't believe they let Joliet Prison go down like that. So many films made there. I was watching James Belushi, uh, uh, John Belushi's brother, and I was like, why didn't you guys turn the Joliet Prison into a grow factory or something like that? Where you grew cannabis or whatever. Why didn't they turn it into like a condominium place or something where you can, you know, I mean, Blues Brothers really made Joliet Prison on the map. They put it on the map, really. They really did. I don't know. Now it's all rusted and everything. And could it be turned into something? It probably could if you got a bunch of money. You could probably turn Joliet Prison into condos and keep the outside looking like a prison, right? With the turrets and everything. That would be cool. You know, that would be pretty cool. Chicago has to come up with things to bring money in, and they just ain't. They're just not cutting it. You're only going to survive in Chicago if you're rich, you know somebody, or if you're one of the biggest cocaine dealers in the world. Other than that, you're not going to survive. It's not a place to raise kids no more like it was in the 80s and 70s. Let's see what JLR is saying. JLR is right. I'm not.
I think tonight will be very, very well. You know what I think? I think Friday night will be interesting. I think this weekend.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have a choice on where to get your vehicle fixed. Choose Bill's Collision in Middlebury.
I think there'll be massive protests this weekend in Chicago. I do think by the end of the week, we're going to see some sort of presence in Chicago, whether it's National Guard, DHS, ICE agents, Border Patrol. I continue to look around to see if there's some sort of noon press conference with a group of individuals speaking. In the meantime, this is live outside of the base.
You know what I never understood? I never understood how these people don't want military driving in through their neighborhoods and everything. We know this. If a drug dealer or a gang war breaks out and the military's there, what do you think's going to happen to them gang members? Right? Because the military, you open fire on the military, we're going to nip it in the bud real fast. Right? Real fast. And that's just it. These people, they want to complain when their children are out raping and pillaging the streets and killing people and robbing people. They don't want to do nothing about it. But once someone comes in and takes that dude out, then you have their parents all over the TV. Oh my God, I can't believe they killed your son. Killed 23 people, raped 15 girls, broke into numerous houses, and you can't believe that they killed them? I'm surprised they didn't kill the rest of the family. That's the problem with you folks. You raise animals, and then we get rid of the animals, and you cry about it because you raised an animal. That dude never had a job in his life. His job was killing, selling drugs, and raping and pillaging and taking whatever he wanted. Never had a hard day's work in his life. They killed him, and you're all over the TV crying about, I killed my son. I'm surprised they didn't kill the rest of the family. I'm surprised they didn't kill the rest of your family, ma'am. That's the thing we're dealing with in America. You folks don't see it. It's a double-sided beast. You're danged if you do. You're danged if you don't. Do you understand? I'm trying to explain to these people. We can wipe them out, but then we're going to have all these people coming. Oh, my God. I can't believe you did that. You guys are monsters. You're a bunch of monsters. No, we're a bunch of United States citizens that had to work for a living. We didn't go out and rape and pillage and sell drugs to survive. And we're fed up with only the strong survive or the tough survive. And you ain't a man if you ain't got millions of dollars. So we took it into our own hands, and now we're ready for complete stone cold war. And now they're crying about it. I would at the airport. When 9/11 happened, you were subject to search no matter who you were. Yeah. Yeah. Blues Brothers, still the #1 favorite movie. The Graduate, the 90s. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. Yeah. I got dinner cooking right now in the crock pot. I just took a steak out of the freezer and threw it in the crock pot. And I'm starting to smell it in the apartment here. Thank God it's just a small 1-bedroom apartment, because it don't take long and you can smell the food cooking. Debbie, how are you doing? Was there really 56 shootings over the weekend? That's the last comment she made. Yeah, there was 56. Well, there's probably more, but they didn't. You can't put them all together because you don't know if they were actually murders or what. But yeah, I would bet you there was probably way more than 56 shootings. I mean, when you tell them you're from Chicago, they're like, "Oh, you're from Chirac. I hear it's pretty bad." Well, I haven't lived there since the 90s. Yeah, early 90s. So, but I still keep in touch with family and friends out there, and they say it's horrible. Most of them have boot scoop boogied out of there. It just got too rich. It costs too much to live there. It's too dangerous. Even the little tiny neighborhood I lived in, the little subdivision of West Haven, even Orland Park, they're looking for 2 guys, 3 guys right now, 4 guys in Orland Park for carjacking people and killing and all that. Orland Park police are saying don't handle it yourself. If you see the dudes, call them. Call the Orland Park Hills Police Department. Orland Park consisted of 2 cops back when I lived there. Do you folks understand that? I think there was maybe 4 police total in the whole police department, if that, and 2 of them were corrupt. 2 of them were in the paper for stealing. You got beer for lunch. You're good. You're good. You can tell a true Chicagoan when for lunch they have a bear. That's true Chicago. Chicago, if you did any kind of work in construction, I'm with you. You're going to lunch, you're gonna have a bear. Right, Kramer? Crimes comes second to the suburbs. Military comes second. Chicago. I don't know what's going on. It's even like here. They're talking about bringing. Oh, here I'm only 2.5 hours away from Chicago, from Illinois. I still got family out there and everything, but and friends and everything. But it's even out here in Indiana and up in Michigan and everything. It's just gone crazy. It's just gone crazy. There's no repercussion for any of these people. These people work for businesses and they're killing people. But then you go and you go after the business or after these people in the business, you can't. There's laws put in place where you can't do this or that or whatever. It's just crazy. They're not for the American citizen. It's all for it's a club. It's a gang. Every America is a group, a terrorist group. It's just giant. It's the hub for it. Everybody's flipped out. Now you're lying, Johnny. Tell me you're lying. I ain't. Why would I lie to my own country, my own people, my own family? It's evil. It's gone. It's not what it was. That's why our military men are crying. How did this happen? I don't know. How did the richest company, the country, the biggest, baddest country, as you went to war to fight to save our lives, came back and your country's dwindled to nothing? As you went, as they created the wars for you guys to go out and do their evil, they raped and pillaged and stole from America. I am stuck on the front lines in Mount Greenwood next to Beverly. Old Greenwood used to be a beautiful place. Now it's just full of bodies and whores and crack. Sad. But it's true. It's true. Still a loving neighborhood. Hold on, I gotta turn my steak in my crock pot. All right, I had to flip my steak. It was in the crock pot. It's getting there. It's getting there. It'll probably be done about 7. I put it in there, I don't know, 10 o'clock, 11. I get it to where it's so tender, it just melts in your mouth. All right, I can't believe Mayor Daley dating a shine Maggie rolling in her grave. Oh, Mayor Daley? You mean John Daly? Or are you talking about the golfer Daly? Which one you talking about? I don't know, but we are at 1 hour, 16 minutes. I haven't had a cigarette in a couple days. I am going completely loco. Loco. You know, there's minutes I breathe, I feel really good. But then there's minutes where I think my oxygen levels, right? My body is not used to this kind of oxygen, and it's going, uh-oh. Right? You're higher than a kite, but you're not even on any drugs because your oxygen levels are increasing. Right? They say after like 6 hours or 3 hours, after 3 hours of not smoking, your blood oxygen levels go up. You start, you know, your bronchial tubes and everything start. I don't know. All I know is I was Richard, our late mayor, I believe, her dating a monkey. He was dating a monkey. I wouldn't doubt him. When you become so rich like that, you have pet animals, monkeys, gorillas, tigers, all kinds of stuff. I knew one dude had so much money he had a giraffe. They that's just what they do. They buy stuff they don't need. They don't need any of it. Who was the other mayor that was caught smoking crack with one of the ladies or whatever? One of the Marion Barry. He was. I wonder if he's still alive. He pushed a lot of crack. He was a big time crack smoker and pole smoker too. I think. I'm not sure. That was back in the day. You're not a zebra. But no, I don't have no zebras. I'm not rich no more. I had my little splur of money there for a while. And I bought a double wide trailer, acre of land and everything. I was living big. But then it just all fell apart. It just all came crumbling down. Now I'm in a one bedroom apartment in the country projects where you don't have to worry about black people, Hispanics. You got to worry about crazy white people, which we always do, don't we? Don't we? So we're always the last to find out. Well, these people are just as crazy. They're all white. I know. I live there. It's crazy. Who knew white people could be so crazy, but they are. I went from rags to riches, back to rags. Well, better to have gone from rags to riches than from rags to crack into the hospital or grave. So thank God. Thank God. Thank God. But if you're still living in Chicago, then you already know the only way you're going to survive in Chicago is if you become a criminal or create that 100% yayo. That was back when Pablo was around. And that might bring out Chicago out of the hole, but other than that, I doubt anyone's going to get rich. They owe me millions, right? From that little cop episode there, right? No, I'm still suing them for that. I'm busting everybody's balls. You know, they tried to take me out with some crack whore, right? Like, you must be from Chicago, bitch. She's like, yeah. I said, who put you up to this? Huh? Yeah, I don't know about remember in the 80s and everything when you You driving around with that girl and then a cop pulled you over and they were doing sex stuff and everything. I said, yeah, I remember. Does Chicago remember? Does Palos Hills police remember? I was sent out here to try and get rid of you for that. But I said, oh, you done wrong, bitch. And I said, send that message back to Chicago. And she did. And bitch limped her way back all the way to tell the big old police sheriff, you done did wrong, boy. You best pay me my money. But of course, I'm not going to do anything. I got warrants out for Chicago. Now, I know it's the first time we ever made warrants for a city, but yeah, I got warrants out for them and we're collecting. Trump's coming. We're bringing in the military. And pay me my money, bitches. Hey, you want to do something? All right, I'm going to take $10,000 off of the bill. But I want everybody in the city to have a free gyro or a pizza, Chicago-style pizza deep dish on me. And don't take my kindness as weakness. I'm just being kind because I love Chicago. At one time, it was great. At one time, we're finding out at one time here, at one time there, at one time, America was a ball buster, but it ain't no more. It's a broke ass bitch. That's what it is. Thank God I found you this channel. Oh, thank God I found you guys. But I never left Chicago. They say you can take the idiot out of Chicago, but you just can't take Chicago out of the idiot. And I agree 100%. 100%. They'll never take Chicago out of me. It was the only place where you can get White Castles, double, triple cheese with the onion rings. It was the only place you can get Mickey's Euros, home of Nino Nanu's pizza, Pete's Pizza, numerous pizza places, right? Numerous pizza places. They had that one place in Tinley Park over there. Was it Nino's? Uno's. That was pretty good. But they had that one place, Pete's, and they did the thin crust with the Italian sausage. Oh my God. That pizza was unbelievable. It was thin crust. Was it Pete's? Or was it Little Caesars? I'm not sure. One of them places. I think it was Pete's. That pizza was unbelievable. Unbelievable. And that was when they had the paper bag still. They used to put the pizza in a paper bag. Right? And you'd have the name of the pizza place on the bag and everything. Oh my God. Unbelievable. They don't even make pizza in Chicago like they used to anymore. I remember the street hookers, 2 parties lined back. Page, now there's list crawlers. And I order women like pizza. Oh my God, we ain't got no swanks out here. But then again, we're in the country out here. I got a bunch of pigs and cows and everything around here. But, we did have Chicago Joe's in town here in LaGrange. We had Chicago Joe's. And that was pretty good because I can get me a gyro there from Chicago. I can get a hot dog and hamburger there from Chicago. But Joe had a heart attack. Joe died. Which is sad. Then they closed down Joe's place here in LaGrange. And wouldn't you know it, who came to save the day? Mr. Petilios from Chicago base is now out here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, 30 minutes away from me. The great Petilios came and saved us all because we had Little Joe's. We had Joe's place out here in LaGrange, right in town here. We had the pizzas, we had the pizza puffs, we had the Italian sausage, the beefs, the hot dogs, the hamburger. We had it all here, right in this little town. But Joe passed away, and once Joe passed away, Mr. Petilios came out from Fort Wayne or from Chicago and built Portillo's in Fort Wayne, and oh my God, it's just unbelievable. The food is unbelievable. That reminds me, you know what? I think I'm going to take a drive. I used to go to Fort Wayne every 2 weeks to a month because Guitar Center was out there, so I would always end up having to go into Guitar Center. And they were right down the street from Petilios. And every time I went there, I got me an Italian beef sandwich with the peppers, with the sauce, the gravy, and then on the side, the onion rings. Oh, the onion rings are I'm getting all excited right now just talking about Portillo's food and their pizza. Their pizza was great. They got spaghetti there at Portillo's. They got the meatloaf. They got the stuffed clams. They got the stuffed cabbage balls and the cabbage. Oh my God, mamma mia. I grew up with not sure that place still there near Chair. Bambi's. What the heck was I never ate at Bambi's. Bambi's? Or you must be, was it an Italian place? It must be, it wasn't Bambi's. It was the Gambino. I'm going to see the Gambino, Master. Yeah? I never ate there, though. They say it was a killer place. Just joking. I'm just joking, Mr. Gambino. I'm just a joking. Let's take a look outside. Mamma mia. Look at it's so it's so beautiful out. My tomatoes are doing pretty good. You know, I wanted to talk to my ma, Debbie Fox, about my tomato plants because I got like 10 tomato plants or 10 tomatoes on one plant. But I only got 2 on the other. And I can't figure out why they're not growing equally. You know, why do I only have 2 tomatoes on one plant and I got 12 on the other? I don't know. It's a freak of nature or something, but I'm going to have some tomatoes there pretty soon. So might be having me some BLT sandwiches. You know what? I'm pretty pissed because they haven't brought White Castles to Fort Wayne yet. I think it's down in Indianapolis, but it ain't out here in Fort Wayne yet. We got Portillo's, but a White Castles would be good. Not unless they built one without me even knowing about it. Yeah, and I got a bunch of meatheads coming out here from Chicago. The Calhoun brothers and all them meatheads coming out here. Yeah, I went over to this channel. I was like, you pay your respects to Chicago. And when you're in Fort Wayne, make sure you eat at Portillo's, where you can get great pizza, Italian sausages, Italian beef, you name it, lasagna, spaghetti, the garlic bread, the mamazon, the Alfredo. Make sure you meatheads stop in there and pay your respects to Chicago and get some good food. And behave yourselves. Right? That's what you want to eat. You want to eat a good place? That's a good place to eat. If you're coming through on your rap tour, your country rap tour or whatever, now don't forget, Fort Wayne, Indiana is a head-banging city. We built the city on head-banging rock and roll. We have piers down there where there was like 4 bars and 4 stages in one bar area. So behave yourself because Fort Wayne, Indiana is a headbanger. The mosh pit is crazy. So please behave yourselves in there, you rappers or whatever. We got no beefs. Just behave yourselves, please. Chicago pizza. I'm getting hungry. I can't wait till I get paid tomorrow. Do I get paid tomorrow? I get paid one of these days. One of these days when I get paid, I'm heading down there. Heading down to Fort Wayne, right to Portillo's. Get me one of them beef sandwiches smothered with the green peppers and the red sauce on it and the jardinera sauce on it. You're going to get all kinds of that shit on it. I'm just going to get all the onion rings and everything. I'm just going to come home, eat like 3 of them. Oh, yeah, Mr. John Cougar Mellencamp's down there. And whenever I go down there, I always, I let him know, Mr. Mellencamp, I'm coming through there. I'm Johnny Kramer up here up north. It's Mr. Kramer, it's me and everything. Just sitting there chilling. I'm going to be hanging out and everything. Yeah, he's pretty cool. I think I covered one of his songs. I think I did cover one of his songs on my channel here. I did. From John Cougar Mellencamp song. I sure did. You got to pay your respects to Mr. Mellencamp. You're coming through. I always give him a shout out. Yippee yo, yippee yay. Yo, yo. You pay your respects. Now we got some other guys out here. We got some NBA stars living out here close to me. Miller's out here by me. That big big basketball player and everything. He's out here by me. I got a couple of these other big dollar guys out here by me, but I just ain't into it. It just ain't me. It's just not me. You know how we roll in Chicago. We don't like to flaunt it, right? We just roll. We just keep it cool. We love food. We love football. We love rock and roll. We love, we love the World Theater. I lived by the World Theater. I remember that back in the 80s when they built that place. It was the talk of the time. Everyone was like, God, they're building the World Theater. The first bands that were there was the Monsters of Rock. I was there. Warren, Cherry Pie, and that, all that stuff. Scorps were there, AC/DC. That was the outdoor pavilion. Yeah, I remember that when they first opened that place. That was great. That was way back. The World Theater. I think they turned it into the Juicy Fruit Theater or something like that, or the Wrigley Theater or something like that. It used to be the World Theater, Tinley Park's World Theater or something like that. Oh, it was great. That was all unincorporated land. You can do crazy stuff in unincorporated land. You couldn't do stuff in town, but if you went to unincorporated, that's where we used to go and drink and party and everything was unincorporated. Drag races, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of crazy stuff, unincorporated areas. Hardly any police in the unincorporated areas, right? Hardly any police. It was nothing but cornfields out there. You kidding me? They got horse tracks out there now. Been 2 horse shoes, casinos, plenty of time. They got a whole bunch of casinos out there now in Chicago. A whole bunch of horse tracks and everything. Well, I know they got rid of the one horse track, but didn't Chicago Stadium buy Chicago Bears? And we're going to have one of the greatest Chicago Bears stadiums ever. This has never been done before, folks. Do you understand? The new stadium is actually going to levitate. You go in it, there's a certain cutoff, and if you don't make it, you don't make it. You're not allowed in. Why? Because it levitates. It turns into a UFO, and they're like, Mr. Kramer, you can't. This has never been done before. That's right, but it's going to be right now, and the actual whole stadium leaves the ground, and it don't land until the game is over. People are going, you can't do this, Mr. Kramer. Don't you tell me. It's my team and my state and my city. And if I want that football stadium to levitate as the game is going on, like it's a UFO, then by golly, that's what I'll do. Ever tell me that? I can't believe you folks can even try and do something like that today. It's obvious you don't know who I am. It's obvious. Now, where were we? Ah, yes. Murder Incorporated. We're going to bring that back to Chicago. It's the only way we can make any money. It's funny how we made more money with Capone than we did with our government. It's just crazy. We're going to do all kinds of stuff in Chicago. Sure. Spread the word. Let everyone know in the homeland Chicago area. Tinley Park, Orland, Cicero, Oak Lawn, Bridgeview, Summit, all them crazy areas out there. Let them know we're bringing Chicago back. We're going to lower the crime. We're going to lower everything. All right. Now I gotta check on my dinner. What time is it? I cannot believe I have not had a cigarette. And Debbie's right. Right? Debbie's right. The only reason you're not smoking is because you're a broke bitch. No, you're right. I am broke. I was born poor. It's obvious because I was born in Chicago. And I'm poor to this day. I knew I should have sold drugs when I was younger. I know I should have went on a killing spree. I probably would have had more money if I would have became Chicago's #1 typewriter. And if you're not from Chicago, a typewriter means gunner, killer. Probably would have had more money in my pocket than I do now. But then again, I could have went ahead and done voiceovers for Batman. But I passed on that. Thank God we have the Pope. Leo grew up in the suburbs of Chicago. Leo. Whoa. He's gonna bound, he's gonna go. Leo ain't got nowhere to go. Leo. Yeah, I heard they want to sell his house. It's got all popular and everything. Right? I'm like, give him a break, will ya? You know, he's the Pope. He's not Jesus Christ. No, he's not the Messiah himself. Let him have his privacy and his family have his privacy. He's just a little house in the suburbs out there. We all been there. My father lived down the street from my uncles and everything. Just let him have his privacy. Let his family have their privacy. Good God. My God, folks. You leave him alone. He's a very busy man now. He's the Pope. God bless you, Pope Leo. We're pulling for you here. It's me, Johnny Kramer from Chicago. I know you know who I am, sir, but I don't think you know who these idiots are. That's all right. You're perfectly safe, sir, around here. Well, all glory goes to God. Amen. King of Kings. I know you heard. I have the Jesus blood in me, the bloodline. I know you're shocked. Everyone, that little idiot. That's me. The bloodline. That's right. But it's okay, Pope. We love you. Keep doing a great job. I wonder if he's getting any Italian food out there. I mean, he's in the Vatican. That's all Italy. They say they got the best mozzarella ever. It just melts right in your mouth. It's unbelievable. The Peugeot is unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. They say it melts right in your mouth. I wonder if he's probably eating good. He's probably eating good. I wouldn't doubt it. They're probably feeding the Pope Louis pretty good. No, the Pope's who Leo? Yeah, we talked. He's pretty upset too. And I was like, Leo, you know, brother Leo, it's sad what they've done to us in Chicago and all the rest of the people. And he was like, mm, I hear you, brother Johnny. I was like, and these people, they've just been sucking the life out of us, haven't they? Mm, mm, They even took away the good matzo balls and everything, and all the good food and everything. So Leo knows what I'm talking about. We just been getting shafted. And I don't even live in Chicago. You forced me to leave Chicago. Do you folks understand that you forced me to leave my home state? And some of the best food I ever had in my life. And some of the greatest drinking buddies that a man could ever have as an alcoholic. And you made me leave that state. I could have been somebody. I could have been a contender. Ah, well, easy come, easy go. The Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh away. God bless it. Bless it. But Chicago, I'm bringing in my military. I suggest you folks cook your food because some places you're not allowed to cook and have barbecue. So you're very lucky, Chicago, to be able to barbecue. Another thing is it's very dangerous. And we don't want your money. We don't want nothing. We don't want your children or your women or anything. We have our own. We're already going crazy from them. We're there to just bring peace and justice and get rid of the bad guys. And let us do our jobs. And the sooner we can do our jobs, the faster we can leave Chicago. Now, I want to thank William Walsh. I think he was related to that one Walsh guy, Joey Walsh. He was great. I love Uncle Joe. He's that guy that came up with the Rocky Mountain Way, but now I couldn't get much higher. I did. I got a lot much higher, but it was a great song. That's Uncle Joe. Aerosmith and all the bands and all the rock and roll bands, they all know me. I'm out here. I am. I'm still alive. They all thought I was dead, rumors and everything. Oh my God, he's dead. Thank God we don't have to pay him all that money, but you do. So I'll be waiting in the mail for that check. God bless you all. I know you all hate me out there, but you know what? That's how you become famous. The more people that hate you. Yeah, maybe. And now, folks, once again, I want you to stop in at Portillo's in Fort Wayne, Indiana. All you rap stars coming through here on your rap tour, make sure you stop at Portillo's. where you can get your pizza, your Italian beefs, you name it, your raviolis, you name it, spaghetti, anything. Not related to any celebrities. Kramer, you're my new guru. You're not related to anybody. You are now. Just keep your mouth quiet. You now are related to Uncle Joe Walsh and one of the Belushi brothers. Just shh. That's how you become famous in Chicago. That's how you do it. You now belong to the Walsh family. No, your second cousin was Mayor Daley, and you're actually related to that one dude that drinks too much, John Daly, the golfer. You're related to him. That's how you do this in Chicago. That's how you do it. One year, I went 1 year drinking for free because I was related to Bill Murray. No one even questioned me. No, I'm joking. I didn't drink. I didn't drink a whole year for free in Chicago because I was Joe. Because I was Bill Murray's family. That's just a joke. I didn't. Honestly, I didn't. I didn't. I love Bill Murray. That's funny shit. Especially when he did Caddyshack, right? He's talking to, I shot 18 with the Dalai Lama. What'd he say to you? Well, it's pretty bad. That was hilarious. Yeah, he's a big hitter, that Dalai Lama. Joyce's family. Are you talking about Joyce? That lady. She's got red hair. She's a preacher or something like that. Ain't she, or a teleambulance or something like that? Is that who you're talking about? I know a lot of people. I don't know if I remember them because I did a lot of drinking and crazy stuff when I was younger. I don't know if I remember myself anymore. Plus, I have a disability now. After I fell off that cliff and landed on my head and split my noggin open and almost died. I survived, but ever since then, I've been having memory problems. I wonder why. I probably do know Joyce. I might have dated one of her daughters. Did she live in Tinley Park or Orland or Brementown? Did she live in Bremen? Tinley Park, Orland Park, Brementown, Palos Park, Palos Hills. I don't know. I'm not sure. I might know her. Oh, my camera's starting to go crazy. Is she passed away? God dang it, Walsh! Are you trying to connect me with dead people? My camera's gone crazy. God, what is going on, Walsh? No, his father was a senator. His son, Dano, was involved with cocaine at Marist High School. No, I didn't go to Marist. That might have been one of my family members. That might have been my father. I don't know. I'm only in my 50s. Who knows? But my dad really didn't do any of that kind of stuff. So maybe, I don't know. No, he must have been a cocaine head in Marist. No, I didn't go to Marist High School. I think one of my families did, or uncles or whatever. But no, we don't sell drugs. That was one of our problems. That's why we're not rich. We chose to go into the trade business and work for a living other than just selling drugs and becoming rich. Boy, were we suckers. Because look at us now, we're poor, and these guys are rich. Oh, you were a big thing when you're 53, so you're a couple years younger than me, and you were the big thing in the neighborhood when you were younger. Oh wow, wow, pushed a lot of the yayo, huh? Not me. I did a lot of it, but never sold it. It's like anything. It's like the government, right? I mean, I can't figure this government out. What do you want me to do for you? Right? You want me to be clean, a good boy? You know, you want me to be a law-abiding citizen, but then in the same breath, it's like you want me to be a bad guy for you or sell drugs or something. What is it with you guys? I don't know. I refuse to sell drugs for the United States of America. I'm sorry. I can't. I've come too far. I made too many deals with the Lord. I can't. I can't. There's no way that I would be able to do anything like that. I mean, I might at 10 million up front, cash. But other than that, no, I probably couldn't. There's no way. Not even, well, maybe 20 million, but not right now. Not right now. Not like this. Not like this. No, not like this. Maybe not. But I mean, if the money was in front of me, then probably, but not this way. Not this way. I'm not going to make that. No, no. I couldn't take that 20 million. Not in front of anybody. I couldn't take that money. There's no way. Not in front of anybody. I would. I mean, I'd probably take the 20 mil, but not in front of anybody. Jeez, what's wrong with you people out in Chicago? You don't even operate the way it used to. That's why Chicago's always getting busted. Right there, here's 20 million. Just take it. Not in front of anybody. What's wrong with you? My God, what do I got to do around here? Unbelievable. Unbelievable what these people are. Kramer, you twisted my text. No, I would never twist nothing on you. I'm not gay. I was raised on vagina and breast my whole life. It's a young age. Vagina and breast my whole life. I wouldn't twist nothing on you, especially your chain, because I'm not one of them people. I just vagina all the way. And that's the problem with this country and generation. They've all done the Fruit Looping. It's no wonder we got problems. Problems everywhere. The cocaine ain't even good anymore. That's declined everything. You got Fruit Loops running around everywhere and everything. It's no wonder Chicago's in trouble. All right. I've been on here for 2 hours. I got to go. Now, folks, make sure you go over to Mr. JLR's channel, one of the great reporting channels on YouTube. Make sure you go over there and check his channel out. I posted it in my chat. You folks have a great day. I want to give a shout out to our new Chicago friend, William Walsh. Okay, who is related to Daley and Joe Walsh. And you best pay him some respect on the streets out there in Chi-Town, Chirac, Chicago, or you'll be hearing from me. That's right. Now, you send the link. I'll sub to him, to JLR. It's right at the top of it's the first thing at the top of my chat, Mr. Walsh. You see it up there at the very top. at the very top. I already posted it, but you know what? I'll do it again because you're a Chicagoan. I love Chicagoans. I'm from Chicago. Wouldn't you want to be a Chicagoan too? Most of you would be. But you ain't got the balls, you ain't got the temper, you ain't got the brains, you ain't got the craziness to be from Chicago. So I'll be Chicago for you folks. There you go, Mr. Walsh. I posted it in my chat. There you go. Check out Mr. JLR. He's one of the great reporters on YouTube. I'm going to get off of here. I got dinner cooking. I got all things. I'm trying to calm down. I haven't had a cigarette in 2-3 days. I'm going crazy myself. Literally, my blood pressure, everything, my senses, everything. I mean, I got my oxygen levels must be climbing or so. I almost passed out. Yeah, I stood up way too fast. It's been 3 days, 2 days, no cigarettes or nothing. Oxygen levels are changing. Got way too much oxygen in me, and my body just said, whoa, back up. This ain't working. And I almost passed out. I was seeing spots and everything. I was. I'm telling you. I sub, take 5 minutes to chat there. Yeah, just make sure you're cool there and everything. He's pretty cool. JLR's pretty cool and everything. You know, he's got a lot of people joking around in this chat and everything. You know, he gets pretty excited, so hold on to your horses, right? Like today, he's like, whoa. You know, give it a chance. I agree with you, Mr. JLR. Bring in the military. I've lived in Chicago myself. I've experienced the dead bodies as I had to walk to school in snow and walk to work. So we're used to dead bodies in Chicago, right? I remember when my cousins came to visit, and they're like, let's go. I'm like, no. My God, it's a dead body. Just step over it. It's okay. You see nothing. You didn't see anything. There's nothing to see here. Just keep going. And that's what we did. And you got to be tough to be from Chicago. You got to have an imagination. You got to have cojones the size of Empire State Building. And you got to be able to do a lot of cocaine. Massive amounts. 8 balls up one nose. But I gave it all up because drugs are bad for you, okay? Okay. Turns out the government said, Johnny, you're a crackhead and a cocaine brain head, and you got to clean yourself up. Okay, I did. It's been 25, 30 years I've been sober and clean from any alcohols, any hard drugs, anything. And when you know it, them some bitches yesterday posted on there, it's America and the drug dealers and the government and all them people that said don't do drugs. It comes to find out they're the biggest drug dealers ever. And I said, it's over. And that's pretty much what I did. And here we sit, doing 50 years in a hole. Well, at least they let me out to smell the cow manure and everything. But other than that, you folks have a great day. I got to go. Mr. Walsh, can you send my love back to Chicago? Can you let them know I'm still alive? A lot of people heard a lot of rumors that I was dead. I'm here. The reason they said I was dead, because they stole a bunch of money from me. Now let them know I'm still alive. Let them know I'm here. Let all the women know I am single and still alive. Although I lost some teeth from the 80s and the crack, and I lost some hair because, you know, crack will do that to you. I lost the liver from all the booze and hanging out in the bars. Other than that, give everyone blowing kisses back home, Mr. Walsh. God bless them all. Let them know I'm still alive, but barely. let them know I'm deathly ill and get a collection going. We did do that back in, and that's where the movie came from. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That's what was in Chicago, but that's for another whole day. And give a shout out to them actors that were in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but that was really supposed to be Kramer's Day Off. But things didn't go the way they worked. Yeah. So they couldn't find out. They didn't want anyone to know it was me. I'm still alive. They thought I was dead. I'm still here. I want to give a shout out to everybody in Chicago. I love you all. I miss the food. Mickey's. Oh, Mickey's little restaurant right there. That was a little fast food, little in and out beef sandwiches and gyros. They had the big giant gyro plates with the feta cheese and all the. Oh man, I miss that. Thank God we got Portillo's out here now. All right, you folks have a great day. God bless y'all. Thank Mr. Walsh for stopping in. Thank Debbie for stopping in, Miss Fox. God bless y'all. You're all great people. You're all great, incredible people. I miss Chicago. Kiss them for me. Give them big hugs. We're still alive. God bless you.